Hello students, I am Mrs. Jadhav PL from Swami Ramanand Bharati Junior College, Tasgaon. In last 3 lectures we have studied solid state up to the crystal defect, and this is my 4th lecture on solid state. In this lecture we have to study electrical and magnetic properties of the solids. So first point is electrical properties of solid. So this property is related to the conduction of the electricity. So we know that solids are of 3 types. First is conductors, second is insulators, and third is semiconductors. So conductor means what? So generally conductor means which can conduct electricity. So generally conductors have high conductivity within the range 10 raised to 4 to 10 raised to 7 ohm inverse meter inverse. So they have high conductivity. For example, metals. So metals like copper, zinc, magnesium, etc. They are conductors. They conduct electricity. So in case of metals, this conductivity is due to the movement of electrons. So other examples of the conductors are electrolytes. That means solutions of the electrolytes. So for example, if we take solution of sodium chloride, then aqueous solution of sodium chloride is good conductor of electricity. So this is due to the flow of ions. So in case of electrolytes, conductivity is due to the flow of ions, and in case of metallic conductors, conductivity is due to the flow of electrons. Second point is insulators. जनरली आपण जर घरी वायर बघतो तर त्या वायर मध्ये आत अशी कॉपरची तार असते आणि त्या कॉपरच्या तारेवरती कोटिंग असतं आणि त्यामुळे आपण जरी त्या तारेला हात लावला वायरला तर आपल्याला करंट बसत नाही, शॉक बसत नाही. त्याचं कारण काय? तर जे बाहेरचं मटेरियल आहे हे काय असतं? दॅट इज बॅड कंडक्टर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. दॅट इज नोन एज अ इन्सुलेटर. सो इन्सुलेटर मीन्स विच हॅव व्हेरी लो कंडक्टिव्हिटी or they do not conduct electricity. So generally they have very low conductivity within the range of 10 raised to minus 20 to 10 raised to minus 10 ohm inverse meter inverse. Third point is semiconductors. So semiconductors means what? So they have intermediate conductivity. That means not low as that of the insulators or high as that of the conductors. So semiconductors have conductivity within the range of 10 raised to minus 6 to 10 raised to 4 ohm inverse meter inverse. Example of insulators are non-metals like phosphorus, sulfur, etc. While example of semiconductors are metalloids like silicon, germanium, etc. So this electrical property is well explained on the basis of band theory. So band theory means what? Due to we know that in case of solids there is compact arrangement of the constant particles. So due to this compact arrangement there is interaction between their outermost energy levels, and due to the interaction between the outermost energy levels 2 types of the bands are formed. That is called as a band theory. So there are 2 types of the bands formed are conduction band and valence band. So first point is conduction band. The name itself indicates that it is responsible for conduction of electricity. So when electrons are present in conduction band, then that substance is good conductor of electricity. Generally conduction band is high energy band. The electrons which are present in the outermost energy level are present in this conduction band. So second type is the valence band. In case of valence band, generally electrons which are low energy or lowest energy that are present in the valence band. Valence band is near to the nucleus, and so that electrons present in valence band are tightly bonded to the nucleus, so they cannot be easily transferred from valence band to conduction band. They are not easy to move, free to move, and so that they do not responsible for conduction of electricity. म्हणजे जेव्हा आपण बघतो की बँड थिअरी मध्ये सॉलिड्स मध्ये जी अरेंजमेंट आहे ही कॉम्पॅक्ट असते आणि त्यामुळे त्याच्या ज्या एनर्जी लेवल्स आहेत आउटरमोस्ट एनर्जी लेवल्स की ज्यामध्ये व्हॅलन्स इलेक्ट्रॉन आहेत, ह्या एनर्जी लेवल्स ह्या एकमेकाच्या जवळ येतात. 11वी मध्ये आपण मोलेक्युलर ऑर्बिटल थेअरी बघितलेली आहे आणि त्यानुसार ज्या ऑर्बिटल्स एकमेकाच्या जवळ येतात त्यामुळं त्यांच्यामध्ये जे इंटरॅक्शन होतं आणि त्या इंटरॅक्शनमुळे तिथं बँड फॉर्मेशन होतं. असे 2 प्रकारचे बँड्स तयार होतात, कंडक्शन बँड आणि व्हॅलन्स बँड. आता व्हॅलन्स बँड मध्ये जे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स असतात हे लोअर एनर्जीचे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स असतात आणि कंडक्शन बँड मध्ये जे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आहेत ते हायर एनर्जीचे असतात. त्यामुळं जो कंडक्शन बँड आहे हा कंडक्टिव्हिटीसाठी रिस्पॉन्सिबल असतो. आता हे जे 2 बँड्स आहेत कंडक्शन बँड अँड व्हॅलन्स बँड, यामध्ये एनर्जीचा डिफरन्स आहे आणि तो एनर्जी गॅप बिटवीन दीज 2 बँड दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज अ बँड गॅप. हा जो बँड गॅप आहे दॅट इज मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट ड्युरिंग स्टडिंग द कंडक्टिव्हिटी. आता हा जो बँड गॅप आहे हा जेव्हा किती आहे त्यानुसार ठरणार आहे की दिलेला सबस्टन्स हा कंडक्टर आहे, इन्सुलेटर आहे का सेमीकंडक्टर आहे. दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज अ बँड थेअरी. आता पहिला जो पॉइंट आहे की समजा हा बँड गॅप छोटा असेल तर आपल्याला माहिती आहे की व्हॅलन्स बँड मध्ये जे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आहेत हे टाईटली बॉन्डेड आहेत आणि त्यामुळे हे सहजासहजी फ्री नाहीये मुवमेंटसाठी. पण कंडक्शन बँड मध्ये जर हा इलेक्ट्रॉन असेल तर मात्र काय दिसते आपल्याला कंडक्टिव्हिटी दिसते. जेवढा डिफरन्स हा कमी असेल ह्या दोन्हीमध्ये कंडक्शन बँड आणि व्हॅलन्स बँड मध्ये, जेवढा एनर्जी गॅप कमी असेल तेवढ्या सहजासहजी व्हॅलन्स बँड मधून इलेक्ट्रॉन कंडक्शन बँड मध्ये ट्रान्सफर होऊ शकतो आणि त्यामुळे आपल्याला कंडक्टिव्हिटी इथं दिसू शकते. जर हा गॅप मोठा असेल तर इलेक्ट्रॉन हा व्हॅलन्स बँड मधून कंडक्शन बँड मध्ये जाणार नाही. जरी आपण त्याला बाहेरून एनर्जी सप्लाय केली एक्सटर्नल एनर्जी तरी सुद्धा जर इलेक्ट्रॉन हा व्हॅलन्स बँड मधून कंडक्शन बँड मध्ये जाऊ शकत नसेल तर तो जो गॅप असतो हा जास्त मोठा आहे, त्याला म्हटलं जातं फॉरबिडन झोन. सो फॉरबिडन झोन मीन्स व्हॉट? इट इज द लार्ज गॅप बिटवीन व्हॅलन्स बँड अँड कंडक्शन बँड and so that electron from valence band cannot be transferred to conduction band by supplying external energy. So now we explain the electrical property on the basis of band theory. So in this case this is about conductors. So in conductors this is conduction band and this is valence band. So if the difference band gap or difference in the energy levels between these two is very low. So for example in case of sodium atomic number is 11. So electronic configuration is 281. So valence electron is present in the s orbital. So this is known as a s band. So when one electron is present in this conduction band which is responsible for conductivity. Sometimes what happens, there involves s as well as p bonds. Then for example aluminum. So in case of aluminum electronic configuration is 283. So electron is present in s as well as p orbital and so these two orbitals overlaps with each other and forms a band. So the difference between this conduction band and valence band is very low and so that they conduct electricity. In case of conductors, this conductance band contains more electron and so that it can conduct electricity. आता जनरली मेटल्स मध्ये आपल्याला माहित आहे की मेटल्स मध्ये काय असतं तर पॉझिटिव्ह आयन्स असतात आणि सी ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन असतो. सो पॉझिटिव्ह आयन्स आर एम्बेडेड इन सी ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन अँड these electrons are delocalized. They can move here and there and so they form C of electron and these cations are present at the lattice points. So these cations which are present at the lattice side, they vibrate at their position and these electrons which are freely moving here and there. So due to vibration there is interception of their movement and due to this when temperature increases then these vibrations are increased and so that the movement of electrons will be interrupted and so that on increasing temperature metal conductivity of metal goes on decreasing. Second point is insulators. So in case of insulators, this is valence band which is completely filled and conduction band is completely empty. And the difference between these two, that is this band gap, is very large. And so that when we supply thermal energy, electron cannot be transferred from this valence band to the conduction band. So this zone which is large, that is called as a forbidden zone. And due to this bigger forbidden zone, valence electron cannot be transferred from valence band to the conductance band. And so that insulators have very low conductivity. Next is semiconductors. In case of semiconductors, this valence shell is completely filled and this conductance band is empty. Valence band is completely filled with electron. The gap between this valence band and this conductance band is very low. So that when we supply external energy, then electron can be transferred from valence band to the conductance band and they can conduct electricity. That means at absolute zero, semiconductors are insulators. But when we increase the temperature, due to this thermal energy, electrons can be transferred from valence band to the conductance band. So in case of semiconductors, conductivity increases with increase in temperature. So semiconductors are insulators at low temperature but conductors at high temperature. For example, silicon, germanium, etc. So semiconductors which have very low conductivity. So pure semiconductors which have low conductivity and which is finite, that is called as a intrinsic semiconductors. So intrinsic semiconductors are pure semiconductors and extrinsic semiconductors are impure semiconductors. That means to these semiconductors some impurity is added by doping process. So on the basis of this doping, there are two types of the extrinsic semiconductors. One is N-type semiconductor and other is P-type semiconductor. So first point is, what is extrinsic semiconductor? Extrinsic semiconductor means these are impure semiconductors obtained by dropping some impurities to the semiconductor so as to increase its conductivity. जो नॉर्मल सेमीकंडक्टर आहे त्याची कंडक्टिव्हिटी लो आहे, फायनाईट आहे, हा प्युअर सेमीकंडक्टर असतो. त्याला काय म्हटलं जातं? इंट्रिन्सिक सेमीकंडक्टर म्हटलं जातं. म्हणजे प्युअर सिलिकॉन किंवा प्युअर जर्मॅनियम हा इंट्रिन्सिक सेमीकंडक्टर आहे. पण जर आपण त्यामध्ये समजा इम्प्युरिटी टाकली फॉस्फरस किंवा बोरॉनची, तर त्याची कंडक्टिव्हिटी वाढते आणि असे जे इम्प्युअर सेमीकंडक्टर्स आहेत त्यांना म्हटलं जातं एक्सट्रिन्सिक सेमीकंडक्टर्स. आता हे एक्सट्रिन्सिक सेमीकंडक्टर्स हे दोन प्रकारचे आहेत. एक आहे एन टाइप सेमीकंडक्टर, त्याच्या नावातच आहे, एन मीन्स निगेटिव्ह टाइप, म्हणजेच इथं जी कंडक्टिव्हिटी आहे ड्यू टू द इन्क्रीज नंबर ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. सपोज दिस इज सिलिकॉन metalloid and in this silicon metalloid we add the phosphorus. This process of addition of impurity to the metalloid so as to increase its conductivity, that is known as a doping. Doping means what? Addition of impurity to semiconductor so as to increase its conductivity, that is called as a doping process. And due to doping here, conductivity is increased. In case of N-type semiconductors, the elements to be doped are from the group 15. That means which have higher number of valence electron than the metalloids. So for example, here silicon has atomic number 14. So it has 4 electrons in its outermost shell. And when we added impurity of phosphorus, which is from the group 15. So it has 5 electrons in its valence shell. So out of these 5 electrons of phosphorus, phosphorus take the position of silicon in lattice and it displaces silicon from its crystal lattice. So this phosphorus can form 4 bond with 4 silicons, while 5th electron is free. It is free to move, and so due to this free electron, conductivity of silicon is increased. So N-type of semiconductors are obtained by doping the metalloids with impurity of group 15th element. So this is valence band which is completely filled, and due to doping the extra electrons are produced. That extra electrons goes into this conduction band, and due to this conductivity of semiconductor is increased. Second type is p-type semiconductor. In case of p-type semiconductor, P means here positive type semiconductor. So these are obtained by doping metalloids with impurity of group 13 element. So silicon, which is 14 group element, and to this we added boron, which is from group 13. So due to this, when this boron displaces silicon from its crystal lattice, but it has only 3 electrons in its valence shell. So it can form 3 bonds with 3 neighboring silicon. But the 4th bond with silicon is not possible because silicon has 1 electron, but boron do not have 4th electron. And due to this, here hole is created. This is electron deficient center, positive center, that is known as a hole. So due to this, hole is created here, and to fill this hole, electrons are moved from one point towards this hole. So due to this movement of electron in one direction, hole moves in opposite direction, and due to this, conductivity of this metalloid is increased. इथं आपण बघितलं तर सिलिकॉन जो आहे त्यामध्ये आपण काय केलं तर 13व्या ग्रुपची इम्प्युरिटी टाकली तर काय होतं, त्याच्यामध्ये 3च इलेक्ट्रॉन्स असतात, त्यामुळे 4था बॉन्ड इथं तयार होऊ शकत नाही, आणि त्यामुळे सिलिकॉनचा 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन आहे पण बोरॉनचा इलेक्ट्रॉन शेअर करण्यासाठी नसल्यामुळं इथं इलेक्ट्रॉन डिफिशियंट सेंटर तयार होतं, त्याला होल म्हटलं जातं. आणि हे होल भरून काढण्यासाठी दुसरीकडून इलेक्ट्रॉन इथं ट्रान्सफर झाला तर इथं होल क्रिएट होणार, इथलं होल भरून काढण्यासाठी इथला इलेक्ट्रॉन इथं ट्रान्सफर झाला तर इथं होल क्रिएट झाले. त्यामुळं इलेक्ट्रॉन ज्या दिशेने जातो त्याच्या अपोजिट डिरेक्शननी होल मायग्रेट होतो, आणि त्यामुळे इथं आपल्याला कंडक्टिव्हिटी इन्क्रीज झालेली दिसते. इथं आपण बघू कंडक्शन बँड मध्ये हा जो व्हॅलन्स बँड आहे हा इथं कम्प्लिटली फिल्ड आहे. कंडक्शन बँड याचा एम्प्टी आहे, पण जेव्हा आपण इथं डॉपिंग करतो त्यावेळी काय होतं तर इथं होल क्रिएट होतं, आणि हा होल क्रिएट झाल्यामुळे आपल्याला कंडक्टन्स दिसतो. Next property is magnetic property of solids. We know that solid contains electrons, and each electron have spin quantum number. That means electron can spin in clockwise as well as anti-clockwise direction. So due to the spinning of the electron, it has magnetic property. आपल्याला माहित आहे की प्रत्येक इलेक्ट्रॉन हा एक टायनी मॅग्नेट असतो. त्याचा जो स्पिनिंग आहे क्लॉकवाइज किंवा अँटी क्लॉकवाइज डिरेक्शनवर, त्यामुळे हा मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड प्रोड्यूस करतो. आणि त्यामुळं जर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जे आहेत हे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स अनपेअर्ड असतील तर आपल्याला मॅग्नेटिक प्रॉपर्टी दिसते, पण जर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स पेअर्ड असतील तर काय होतं तर एकमेकाचे स्पिन हे कॅन्सल केले जातात, आणि ड्यू टू दिस एज स्पिन्स आर कॅन्सल दे शो डायमॅग्नेटिक प्रॉपर्टी. आणि काही जे इलेमेंट्स आहेत त्यांची मॅग्नेटिक प्रॉपर्टी मात्र जास्त असते. आता डिपेंडिंग ऑन दिस मॅग्नेटिक प्रॉपर्टी सॉलिड्स आर ऑफ 3 टाइप्स: पॅरामॅग्नेटिक, डायमॅग्नेटिक अँड फेरोमॅग्नेटिक. आता फर्स्ट पॉइंट आहे पॅरामॅग्नेटिक. पॅरामॅग्नेटिक म्हणजे काय तर जर आपण मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड मध्ये हा सबस्टन्स ठेवला तर हा स्लाइटली अट्रॅक्ट होतो. द सबस्टन्सेस विच आर slightly attracted towards magnetic field that are called as paramagnetic substances, and this is known as a paramagnetism. So to show this paramagnetism, these substances must have unpaired electron. For example, Cu2 plus ion or Fe3 plus ion or oxygen molecule, they are paramagnetic in nature. Second is dimagnetism. When all electrons are paired, Then such substances, when placed in magnetic field, then they are slightly repelled by this magnetic field. That is called as a dimagnetism. So for example, nitrogen, fluorine, etc. So one point is here, paramagnetism, when we place the substance, then it is attracted towards this magnetic field. But here, this field produced is not permanent, it is temporary. Third point is ferromagnetism. In case of ferromagnetism, these substances which have high number of unpaired electrons, and when they are placed in magnetic field, then they are strongly attracted by magnetic field. So that are called as a ferromagnetic substances. For example, FeCuNi. So due to this ferromagnetism, it induces permanent magnetic movement in the substances. Thank you.